Hi everyone, it's 42 Bart 42, and today I'm going to go over some different methods of double lifting, intermediate, beginner, expert, just ways to make it look smoother and not so much like a double lift. So I have a regular deck of cards, and basically a really good really good beginner double lift is this. And what I'm actually doing is I'm picking up two cards, but I'm just showing it as one, and that's what a double lift is. How I did that one was I just held the deck in my left hand, like I'm going to deal. My right hand I came on top, and with my thumb in the back, I counted off one card, two card, and gripped it with my thumb, and just lifted it off. As long as you hold it, the cards are going to stay well together. Another way you could do it is you do the same grip, and lift off two cards in the right corner and just flip it over. Now it's important that when you flip it over, you don't flip it right back on top. Leave it up at the top or up at the bottom a little bit. What that does is that allows you to just come back later and flip it back over. Because if you leave it exactly on there, you gotta go back and recount it to flip. Whereas if you just leave it forward a little bit, you can flip it over. Okay, so those are just beginner ways, and an intermediate way would be to get a pinky break. So you do the same thing, you count off two cards, one card, two card, and just stick your pinky in there. Now if you cover it with your hand or something, you can't tell. You can even do this and most people won't notice, but what you can do then is slide your finger in, come up, and flip. So it looks really nice and really smooth. Just come up and flip. And how I go from here is, if you hold all of the corners, you hold the bottom right with like your pinky, your flesh of your thumb comes here. Actually, don't hold the bottom right, but your thumb comes to the top. What you can do is, your index finger like this, so it allows you to flip it, and throw it down. And the cards will stay together, so when you lift it up, the cards will stay together, you grip it. You can just throw it down and the cards won't, fall apart. Plus it looks more realistic instead of going like that if you just... And here's how I do it, which is a pretty expert method, and you might see other people do it this way, is make sure you bevel the cards a little bit, and basically what beveling means is, so there's a nice little downward slope. How I do it is I take my index finger, my right hand, and I run up the side, and I count off two cards, and then I flip them. So at speed it looks like, alright. Now, as we were saying before, your card. So what I do is I take my index finger, and I run up the side, count off one card, count off two cards, so I got three cards, count off one card, count off two cards, and then once I get to my knuckle, I square everything up and throw it down. And that looks really realistic, plus you don't have to hold any breaks, because if you hold a break, there is the chance that someone could see you. But really, a double lift is any way that you want to do it. You can do a double lift like that if you want, where how I did that was I took a pinky break, and then instead of lifting it, I took my thumb and I rotated it on the palm of my flesh like that. You'll see David Blaine does that one in a few tricks. He'll all of a sudden bust this out. Oh, that's your card. It's just a double lift. There's ones where you can just rotate it right on top. And I'm going to teach you some small packet ones too, so bear with me if you will. So there are three cards. And instead of having to do the same thing, what this allows you to do is it just allows you to do a double lift. So that is a double lift, but I have three cards, and it works really well. Where if you hold the card like you're going to deal them, with your left thumb, put some pressure on the bottom card and push over. What that will do is when you put pressure, it leaves the bottom card intact, but it pushes everything else right. So I actually pushed away two cards with my thumb. And now all I have to do is come in with my hand and flick it over. And the same thing if I want to double lift. The same thing if I want to go back. I just apply pressure with my thumb and push, and it pushes over the 2 cards, so that all I have to do is flip. Ends with 3 cards. Now if I had a 4th card, I can't do this exact same thing because I'll actually push over 3 cards. So what you do is push over, and as you're pushing over with your middle finger, grasp. And I know it might sound weird, but if you push over with your thumb, you push over 3, and keep moving your thumb and put your middle finger out, and what that will do is that will catch that card. So these 2 cards move over. So it just looks like that. So you push, hold with your middle finger, and see, now I have these 2 cards as 1. But if you want to do like this and that, a card trick that uses 3 cards, this is just a great one to use. So that's just a little demo on there's the double lifts. There are so many ways you can do a double lift. Just really do what you feel comfortable doing. And please rate and subscribe and comment. Alright, thank you.